If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Romans 10, verse 9. Did you know that the shortest creed confessed by the church dates back to the 1st century and was simply, Jesus is Lord? As the church faced heresies, that is, false teachings, the church began to address these heresies with more and more detailed creeds. The Apostles' Creed was the first one that was used in public worship, which was a confession of faith based on the teachings of the apostles. The Nicene Creed was the second creed used in public worship, which addressed the false teaching of Arius that Jesus was not equal with the Father. It was first presented at the Council of Nicea in 325 AD and later ratified at Constantinople in 381 AD. The longest of the creeds that has traditionally been used in worship to confess our Christian faith is the Athanasian Creed. This creed was written in the 5th or 6th century, and although it was not written by Athanasias, it was named the Athanasian Creed as a tribute to him. He was a hero of the church for his fierce defense of the Catholic, that is, universal, faith of the church. He was a legend of sorts in church history because in 325 AD, at the Council of Nicea, he slapped Arius for saying that the Son, that is, Jesus, was not equal with the Father. Where the Nicene Creed addressed the Arian controversy regarding the divinity of Christ, the Athanasian Creed further clarified the Church's understanding of the Trinity and addressed more fully the humanity of Christ. It is the longest of the creeds used in our worship service and included only one time per year on Trinity Sunday, which was this past Sunday. The three creeds that we confess in our worship services are important to the Christian church because they serve as a summary of our Christian faith and a boundary for our Christian faith. When you hear someone espouse a teaching that contradicts the creeds of the church, you can rest assured it is not biblical and it is not what the church has believed, taught, and confessed for the past 2,000 years. The word creed comes from the Latin word credo, which means I believe. When we confess the creeds of the church, we are standing shoulder to shoulder with God's people around the world and throughout the history of the church, proclaiming together what it is we believe. It would be nice if our only creed was Jesus is Lord, but because of the false teachers and false teachings that have crept into the church over the history of the church, we now have to get more detailed. But as we get more detailed, let's not forget the bottom line, that Jesus is Lord. Press on in the Lord.